Hey everyone, I'm Chris, and this is Cue the Credits. Welcome back to Cue the Credits, the home of everything boutique Blu-rays, physical media, and the art of collecting. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas, festive, holiday period, and you managed to relax down, see friends or family, or just take that time to have a little bit of and also I'm sure just eat all of the food and watch all of the stuff, because that's what I did. So my last video of the year was meant to be the one that I popped up on Christmas Eve when I got that absolutely massive box from Umbrella just coming in right before Christmas. And then I got so many people asking for separate unboxings of specific items in that. I was like, you know what? We've done a video every Sunday since I started uploading on Cue the Credits. Just because it's Christmas, I can't not give you a Sunday video, right? So here we are, and we're going to be, as you saw on the thumbnail, unboxing a couple of those Umbrella titles. So this is just going to be a pure unboxing video, not going to go into like thoughts on the discs or anything like that. I will of course note disc quality and things like that in the eventual what I watched in probably January. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to watch either of these before the year is out, but today we are unboxing the Caligula Ultimate Cut Absolute Power Edition and the Dogma 4K Limited Edition, both from Umbrella Entertainment in Australia. So let's start with Dogma. And to be honest, actually, before we get onto this, Umbrella is starting to become, well, fast becoming one of my favourite boutique labels that are in the game at the moment. I love the fact that they're not afraid to release like cult or controversial films, or films that are just ridiculously hard to get to, and fight for the rights to get a ridiculous physical media release out rather than just like a standard Amaray or Steelbook like what we're seeing in the US. And realistically, like I've said before, that's why we need boutique labels around like this, to put out these titles, to give them like absolutely stonking editions, or just so you can get like a proper physical media release. For example, Dogma and Caligula, you can just get the standard Amaray release from Umbrella, but you're still getting that excellent quality. But if you want to go over the top, you can get titles like Black Sheep in a flocked limited edition case, which I absolutely adore. Some people might not, but it is just A1. Anyway, enough of me gushing about Umbrella. Let's talk about Dogma. Dogma was released back in 1999, and this is Kevin Smith's religious satire film around the Catholic Church and Catholic ideologies. And it has been notoriously difficult to get any form of physical media release of this for years, after being like hung up in like limbo from the Weinstein Company having the rights and Kevin Smith consistently trying to buy back the rights. It's just been nonsensical to get a legit copy of Dogma in your hands. Like, you could get Blu-rays and DVDs of it, and they'd cost you upwards of £100+ just to get a relatively okay transfer. For anyone who's unfamiliar with this film, it follows two angels played by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. And you're probably thinking, wait a minute, this ridiculous film that's got Jesus Christ going, has got Matt Damon and Ben Affleck in? Well, yeah. I mean, the benefit of being friends with Kevin Smith means that they will act in your ridiculous satire film, which I'd say is a win. This film has also got Selma Hayek, Alan Rickman, along with the general View Askew cast. While on this journey, Affleck and Damon's characters are trying to find a loophole in the Catholic doctrine so that they can get back into heaven, not realizing the terrible spiral which will come if they do actually do that. This film is funny, sharp, surprisingly thoughtful, and though it did garner like a ridiculous amount of controversy when it came out late 90s in America, there was like death threats happening to Kevin Smith for making this film. It is kind of a perfect product of late 90s indie cinema, and it is well worth a watch, whatever your religious persuasion. So without further ado, let's unbox this, because I am excited to see what you get inside. Let's get straight into this unboxing then and take a look at this gorgeous stained glass slipcover. As you can see, it is highly reflective on this side of things, and you know what, I love it But this is an issue for me, because I'm like, I'm going to pick this up and this is just going to drop at some point. But it is gorgeous to look at. Onto the spine there, we can see we've got a little cutout to see the Dogma. And then let's have a look at this like J card on the back. So just tells you everything that you get inside, but we'll get onto that shortly. All of these special features, which I will just hold on for a moment so you can see, this is absolutely packed, which is like the main thing that you want. Like, we have been deprived of Dogma for so long that having all of this stuff on here is just brilliant. Love it. As you can see, because Umbrella do numbered editions, this is number 2113 out of 10,000. And then just some specs here. And then taking the J card off this, we reveal Alan Rickman's character Metatron with a little quote here: "You people, if there isn't a movie about it, it's not worth knowing, is it?" Which is just beautiful. And a lovely little tribute to Alan Rickman there, putting him on the slip. So let's just take this off so you can see this fully. And then see the Dogma there. And then, of course, Buddy Christ, which is, this is like the new 25th anniversary artwork, which I think is really, really nice. And I mean, quite honestly, like, this looks great on its own. And then obviously adding the stained glass, so you can see the stained glass just on its own there. And then adding the stained glass is one of those slips that just adds to the actual design, which is really, really nice. But we'll keep that off for now. So I've just popped everything out of this, so we'll get into that in a second. And one thing that I love about Umbrella is that their J cards, you can just pop them in there and they fit really nicely. So if you do want to keep your J cards, and generally on Umbrella you do, because that's where the numbering is, you can just slide them in there and they are nice and safe. You don't have to cut them, you don't have to do anything. So thumbs up, Umbrella. First up out of the box, we have got the art cards here. So this is a, I'm guessing, original poster here, which shows obviously Affleck and Damon. We've got Chris Rock, Alan Rickman, you know, just a bit of everyone there. Next one is another poster. We've got the Catholicism WoW campaign here as an art card. Got a couple of character cards there. Then it's in a Japanese poster. Another couple of character cards. Another couple of character cards. And then the poster that people are probably most familiar with for Dogma. And then back to that. So those are a couple of nice art cards. A lot of like just old poster versions. It's a nice to have. Not sure that I'd showcase any of these, but appreciate being able to see them in like a physical, can hold in your hand version. Next up, we have got Dogma behind the scenes experiences, essays and art. Not sure if you can see that as well, because it is like dark on dark on dark, but on the side we've got Dogma there, and then on the back we've just got the Umbrella logo. So this is a 100+ page book. Not sure if it's actually numbered, doesn't look like it, but this has got just an absolute slew of bits and bobs. Of course, the legendary George Carlin there. And then let's see, yeah, so that's how it starts. Dogma, a comic fantasia by Kevin Smith. So yeah, we don't have a contents, but we've got like various different bits. There's a diary from Kevin Smith while he was shooting, and then loads and loads of stuff in here, and then loads of behind the scenes photos and things like that. This is a really, really cool book. Just that extra little bit of sprinkle of goodness that you want to see with a release like that, of course. Alanis Morissette as God. That is the Dogma book. And onto the film itself in this other slipcover design. So we're not recycling any of the artwork. We're getting new artwork on each little bit, which is great. So you can see the angels there. Obviously, Jay and Silent Bob. Move over. We get Dogma there. And then, of course, Buddy Christ. Prepare thyself. God, this is so nice. I've kept myself dark on like how everything looks because I wanted to experience it for the first time. So pulling this off now, of course we have got the full 25th anniversary artwork, so with all the characters around Buddy Christ, and then Dogma there, and then just all the info on the back there, which is basically just a repeat of the J card. So one really cool thing, if you're not familiar with Umbrella, is that you can do this. And bam, the logos are gone. Umbrella, obviously, they are an Australian distributor. They are an Australian company, so they have to have the Australian ratings. But knowing that they ship internationally and they've got a lot of international customers, they print the artwork on the other side without any of the ratings, so you can have this lovely clean design, which is just another A1 from Umbrella, because who wants to see big logos? And there you go. Just the same, just doesn't have the big logo there. Onto the inside, we have got the 4K disc here with Buddy Christ on. Let's get that spun around. We've got the 4K disc there with Buddy Christ, and then we've just got a regular Blu-ray disc here, which is appreciated after it's been so long being able to have Dogma. It's nice to have a Blu-ray and a 4K copy there. And then finally inside we have got a poster, which I'll just show you now. And that is the poster here, the 25th anniversary. Unfortunately, mine has got a little bit of damage going through the middle. Not sure if that is on everyone's. I'll have to watch some unboxings. And then same there, unfortunately. Like when it was folded, it looks like it kind of got stuck. And same there, it really goes through the faces. But that is the full 25th anniversary artwork. Another one of them that they made there. Just looks really cool. Wonder if we can do anything about this poster though, because it would be nice to have one that wasn't damaged. And that is everything that you get in the 4K collector's edition of Dogma from Umbrella Entertainment. And now on to absolute madness. This is the Caligula Ultimate Cut 4K Absolute Power Edition from Umbrella Entertainment. And this is not a subtle release at all. I mean, just as I did in my unboxing, look at the size of this thing. It is absolutely huge. Caligula is an infamous film, and it is part historical epic, part exploitation film, as well as being surrounded by decades of controversy, multiple edits to even get the film out, and so much behind the scenes controversy. It makes Christian Bale yelling at a light guy on the set of Terminator look like a daycare center. The Ultimate Cut aims to present the film in a way that's focused more on narrative and performance, stripping things back to what would resemble more of a historical drama, while still being Caligula. Like there's no way to strip out the Caligula-ness of it. This release, of course, stars Malcolm McDowell, as you can see on the front. We've got a very young Helen Mirren, as well as Peter O'Toole, just to name a few of the cast. And this has built a reputation of being one of the most notorious films ever made. So to have it in such a physical media release is just a part of film history, whether that be kind of good or bad film history. So without further ado, let's unbox this. And there is going to be some bits in here that I don't think I can show on YouTube. So yeah, if this, I'll note stuff that I can skip over, but let's go for this unboxing. I feel like this is going to hurt my wrists unboxing this, because this is a heavy edition. Let's start off on the front. So of course we have got Malcolm McDowell's melting face and the Caligula title there, and then the Ultimate Cut just in the bottom. Move over to the spine, which is Caligula, just straight down, and then the ultimate cut across. They've got a lot of space to work with, and I do appreciate that they've put the font like that, which is great. Moving round to the back, this is everything that you get inside. Then you get all of those special features here. So we've got 5 cuts of the film on this, which is just some next level stuff. And then tech specs on the bottom here. This is number 3258 out of 5000. And it is a 4-disc release. So removing the J card, the design just follows around. It's kind of like a marbly effect, which is really nice on the box. And then we've just got the Caligula coin, which is bleeding there. Just a really nice, like, quite clean rear design, I'd say. So first onto art cards, and I've had to vet these so I can show them. I think this should be okay, fingers crossed. So we've got the Caligula artwork. This is the same as the Penthouse cover that you'll see shortly. And then another artwork. It's kind of like the Dogma one where it's various posters. Standard artwork there. This is the one that I am most familiar with. This was on the front of the Arrow Blu-ray release that I've got upstairs somewhere, I believe. Then another artwork. Just Malcolm McDowell's got a certain face, hasn't he? And then another one there. And then can't show you this red one. Well, maybe I can if I do that, which kind of, yeah, there you go. So that's another artwork there. And then the final one. What better proof that I am a god? I have a husband and a wife. I am all that is and will ever be. What a chap. There you go. So there are the art cards. And then you get a small replica of the Penthouse magazine that came out in May 1980 to promote Caligula. And I can't show you really any of this. You can see these 2 adverts that were on there, which really put you in the 80s spirit of things. And this advert as well. And that's about it. Everything else is, just not suitable, basically. Not suitable for YouTube anyway. There is just a hell of a lot of nudity, basically. It's Caligula. Yep. Next up, we've got the first of the big beefy books, which is Caligula Screenplays and Novelizations. So right at the front, we've got the most decadent man in the history of man. And if we open this up, we've got the couple of contents pages. So we've got a 1975 draft screenplay. That's 190 pages. And then the 76 draft screenplay, which is another 140 pages, if I'm doing 138 pages, doing the maths right. And then the Caligula novelization, which is from 331 to let's see, 424. So that's just under 100 pages, but it is, it's pretty tight on that side of things. We've of course got everything that you'd expect in a screenplay. It is absolute film preservation and film history, basically. Just that we've got the ability to have this stuff physically in our hands. And then, of course, let's get to the novelization, if I can. We get a little bit of a handwritten note there in Italian. And then the novelization here, which will be interesting to read, to say the least. I think this whole book is going to be very interesting to read, especially after watching the ultimate cut, to see how it differed from the actual final product that we got in the ultimate cut. Next, we have got the hardback book of Caligula. Now, this is, of course, normally behind the scenes essays and stuff like that. This is essays, interviews, and artwork, so it's not necessarily behind the scenes, as it were. But let's just, first off, take note of this book. This is a beautiful looking hardback book. It's got this like navy blue with the gold and the Caligula there, same on the spine. Nothing on the back, which is not a trouble, but definitely a handprint magnet. And then you see here just the red toppings, like the blood red, and it's these little details which really make you go, wow. So open this up like that. Got a few various different bits there, and then we've got some content. So we've got introduction, production, original release, restoration and revival, essays, and then custom artwork. So it kind of takes you through the process of what happened with Caligula, which is really cool. And we've of course got a whole host of behind the scenes interviews. I'm sure probably can't show that. And we've got a whole host of behind the scenes photos. I've skimmed through this book and I can't really show you much. So I'm having to pop it down, go, yep, you can see this bit. And then, yep, you can see this bit. It is very interesting. Then, of course, we've got the various artworks here, which is really, really nice. So, and there's some thanks for Umbrella. As you're seeing with a lot of this unboxing, I can't really show you much. So if you are interested in this, it is still available on Umbrella's website. If you've got any interest in like film history, film preservation, in the fact of films that probably should have never really seen the light of day, Caligula might be one of those films. I would recommend picking this up because it is an absolute stonking release from Umbrella. Finally, we have the Caligula Ultimate Cut with this blood red slipcover. Of course, Malcolm McDowell and a very young Helen Mirren there. And then Ultimate Cut. And finally, the same quote that we saw earlier. So if we pop this off, underneath, we've got a different artwork again with this like black green and the coin, which is really nice. And then of course this is a restricted R-rated 18+ high impact sex scenes, nudity and sexual violence. It is an intense ride, let's just say that. Let's swap this artwork over. There we go. I do tend to do this with kind of any release that has the option to remove any ratings logos. I appreciate that it has to be sold with ratings logos on, but this is the way to do it, that you can kind of get rid of them if need be after. So onto the spine there, and then finally everything that we get in this edition here, which is all of those special features that were on the J card. Opening this up, and we will take these bits out, and we can see we've got the Ultimate Cut Disc 1, that is the 4K disc, and then we have got these blue discs here, so nice differentiator, so you know that the 4K is in the red. And then we've got disc 2, the Ultimate Cut, in blue, and then we've got disc 3, the Ultimate Cut, and then we have got disc 4, the Ultimate Cut, in an orange color. So I'm not sure whether you can tell on camera that they are different shades. And then of course we've got this green here, all the same artwork, but like the fact that it's differentiated with different colorings as well. Not sure if it tells you, no, it doesn't tell you on the back what is where on each disc, so we'll have to find that out. But massive 4-disc release here from Umbrella. Nuts. Right, let's see about those posters. First poster we've got here is from the Italian release, and then spin it round here, we've got another poster there which is sporting basically the same colorway as they've done on the book, which is really, really nice. As you can see, they were like, we don't need to show off anything from the film, or we can't really, so we're just going to put a load of text on there. Then we have got the poster from the Cannes Festival in 2023. That is when the Ultimate Cut got shown at Cannes. And then spinning it round, we've got another one there with the Ultimate Cut poster artwork. Same thing here, unfortunately, with these posters that we saw on Dogma, that it is a bit damaged, which is really upsetting because it goes straight down the middle. Like, I'm not sure if that's just residue or let me see. No, it is actual damage to the poster. Has anyone else had this? If you're watching this and you've got these specific releases or you've got other Umbrella releases, have you had any damage on the specific posters there? Let me know. So that is everything that you get in the Caligula Absolute Power Edition from Umbrella Entertainment on 4K. I mean, that is a pretty gnarly edition of Caligula, right? I mean, just wow. Wow. So let's round up. What I absolutely love about both of these releases is that they represent two very different sides of physical media collecting. Dogma is about film preservation and bringing back a film that people absolutely love, and they just want to be able to hold a physical copy of this film in their hands, pop it on their shelves, and just be able to experience Dogma whenever they like. Caligula is about context, reframing something that was so controversial that it got banned in multiple countries and putting it in a historical footing and be able to have this beautiful physical media release in front of us. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Cue the Credits. I really appreciate you spending some time to watch me unbox these two beautiful editions. And as I said in my previous video, if you want an even deeper dive in any of these, let me know in the comments down below. For example, Caligula's got 5 different cuts across those 4 discs in that set. So there is a lot of stuff to go through that we could spend absolutely ages on. For now, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing video. I've still got Triangle Creep and Daybreakers from that Umbrella delivery, so if you do want to see those get unboxed, let me know as well in the comments down below. Just let me know stuff in the comments down below, basically. And thank you for watching this final Sunday video on Cue the Credits for 2025. Guys, we made it. I wouldn't be able to stand here and make these videos without every one of you watching right now. So I'd like to just take a minute and say thank you. As of recording this, we are sitting on 578 subscribers, which just blows my mind. I started this channel right at the tail end of July, and to think that I'd nearly be at 600 subscribers by the end of the year has just absolutely blown my mind. It's nuts that you guys are enjoying watching me just rant about movies, but I so appreciate every single one of you who stick around for this journey with me. So until next time, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop me a comment below. Do you want to see a deep dive? Do you want to see more unboxings? Have an absolutely wonderful new year. I will see you bright and early on the 1st for my What I Bought in December, and it's going to be an absolutely massive one. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. See you in 2026. See you on the flip side. Peace!